Hey, what's going on? Miko, you love that emoji. Well, Monkey, the reason I titled it that way today was because I was watching a news article earlier about a soldier who got pulled over and was an older video, but he got pulled over and was wearing his full uniform. And I don't know if he was on his way to work or from work or whatever at one of the bases, but they treated him like crap, and it was kind of like, this guy's a soldier. This guy signed up to fight for this country, and they were treating him like garbage. And it was just a simple speeding stop. So it was just like, even these guys who, they basically earned their freedom because they fought for this country in that one way or another. But, it just bugged me. So that's what made me think of that title. Of all people, soldiers getting denied basic human rights like freedom in a country that's supposed to be free, just because they're speeding or something doesn't mean they should be treated like crap. You gas, well, at the drive-through. Hey, up, yeah, oh yeah, that's my point, Steven. These guys like Monkey, who was a Marine. They sign up, they basically give away their rights for a few years or however long they're part of the military to fight for this country, putting their lives on the line so that we are supposed to have freedom. But yet, when they're driving on American soil and they may make a mistake like speeding a little or something, I mean, give them a ticket or whatever, fine, but don't treat them like garbage. Hey, Joe Cool. It's not about being special. It's just the point was, if a veteran or an active duty soldier can't expect to be treated like a human on American soil, well, what luck like the rest of us have. 1969, damn, I wasn't even a twinkle in my mom's eye in 1969. Yeah, yeah, I know. A couple people were covering that. PJ's was, but she went offline, so I don't know what's up with that. Man, talk about a slow day. Holy crap. So how's everybody doing? I mean, kind of quiet in here all of a sudden. Yeah, that was my point, Ed. That's ridiculous. Well, that's, Steven, it's kind of why I see the whole auditing thing and whatnot. I constantly have seen people over the years say, well, why do you do that? No normal person would go film a jail, or no normal person would go fill a police station, or whatever. And I keep explaining over and over again that it's not about the location. It's about the action. The fact is, filming while walking on public property is 100% legal. It's the most legal thing that we can do while experiencing these problems. Hey, Regina. And that's just it's frustrating. People still sit, I still see these other channels trying to bash on us, saying, well, it's stupid. Why would you go out there and film a jail or prison or whatever? Well, why not? I mean, that was the most basic answer there is. Why not? It's legal. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's there, It's kind of like, how many times has Furry been accosted just for walking down the sidewalk? I'll never forget when she was walking past that Star Map newsstand, and all of a sudden they started, talking under their breath about her. Then they got loud, and they threw a can at her. And she wasn't even like auditing them or nothing. She was just walking down the sidewalk with a camera. That's just ridiculous. So, it's just things like that. It's like it was 100% legal, and yet she still got, she had a point where she had one of the guys arrested. All because they felt it necessary to assault her for walking down a sidewalk with a camera. Well, there's a difference between expecting resistance and being assaulted and harassed, arrested, thrown in a cell, all because of illegal activity. Now, I can understand if the auditor, activist, whatever, is getting belligerent and, causing problems and breaking laws, because there has been some that have broke laws. And, obviously, it's very situation based. But somebody simply walking down the sidewalk with a camera, there's nothing wrong with that. What do you mean? I try to make the same accomplishments in it as anyone else as part of this. When me and Bullet went out and did our couple of audits, the Monroe County Sheriff assumed that it was illegal for us to be out on the sidewalk filming, and we proved him wrong. No, yes, I'm talking just about times when Furry was literally just walking down the sidewalk with a camera. That's literally what happened. She was assaulted, had a can thrown at her, all that, just because she was walking down. She was like vlogging, walking down the star, where the Hollywood Walk stars are. And, she walked by one of those star map places, and the people immediately started calling her names and all that, and one thing led to another. Now, I understand when we're actually, like, outside of a jail or whatever filming, but she shouldn't have to keep walking no gas. She shouldn't have to deal with that to begin with. You know, it's just frustrating. I understand when we're actually out auditing, and it's out of the norm. I get that. What specific changes in government operations have? Well, duh. You got Turner versus Driver. You got the statutes that were recanted as a part of the Almost Park rally. Changes have been made. Maybe not a whole ton of them, but there have been official documented changes made as a result of it. I mean, hell, even Morro Bay went from being completely anti-auditor, anti-public filming, hush hush, to opening auditor or welcoming auditors with open arms and not doing a damn thing to them. Well, no, honest guess, I'm not saying that. But she shouldn't have been assaulted because of it. It's one thing if they don't like her, they have an opinion about what she looks like or whatever, and that's one thing. But assaulting her, smacking her camera out of her hand, throwing cans of soda at her, all that's not right. Yeah, like I'm saying, in some areas, people. Well, that one killed me because there's so many cameras at a border checkpoint to begin with. It's ridiculous. So for them to have had any issues, oh yeah, Joe, I'll have to look that up once the dust settles, and I can't just mirror live, news streams. So while Supreme Court is considered federal, Fifth Circuit, Turner versus Driver, obviously that's the most widely known change. Hey, MIB, what's up, brother? If all we can claim right now is Turner versus Driver in the Fifth Circuit, that's still huge. He made a big change pursuing that all the way to the end like he did. And he definitely deserves credit for that. Batusai, man, I respect the hell out of him. I love his work. I mean, he does great talks. And the fact that he followed through all the way, that's huge. I know that's like MIB, man. I used to unload trucks overnight. 12-hour shifts, sometimes more. It's not just Texas, though, Holly. It's all the states under the Fifth Circuit. I believe that includes Oklahoma, Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken, Arizona and Nevada. That's millions of people affected. Even if it was only Texas, that's still millions of people affected by one auditor. Well, all of the negative press that all the inland border checkpoints received as a result of SA Ecstasy Prez and Pastor Anderson and News Now Houston and all them, there was the Governmental Accountability Office that was commissioned by the government to do a survey of all the inland checkpoints and come up with a recommendation, to which they recommended that all inland checkpoints be shut down and the resources be moved to the actual border. So, I mean, that may not be officially documented as belonging to any specific auditor, but it's a direct result of all of the negative press received. I think that's at least in a small part due to a couple auditors. Even if it's only 1% as a result of the negative press from SA Ecstasy Press and News Now Houston and CJ Grissom and them. Still, and like I said, there's also Almost Park. All of their statutes on open carry was recanted as a direct result of Second Amendment auditors and activists that would perform, like CJ Grissom and SHC Preds and Southside Slacker and them, that would do their. Yeah, Morro Bay was definitely an oddball situation, but you know what? It resulted in change, even if it's only in that township. That's still change. You know, when Monkey and Johnny 50 and James Freeman and all Mrs. 50 and all them went out and did that mass audit in Morro Bay, that resulted in Morro Bay changing their views of auditing. At least to the point of no longer harassing auditors simply for filming. Holly, you're just looking for reasons to complain and put us down. Just because we haven't all made massive government wide change as a result of what we do doesn't mean that we aren't making change in the end. If enough people raise their voice, eventually it will be heard. So, you don't need to read the changes in Morro Bay. You could just go watch the videos. You know, that blatantly obvious proof that shows auditors that went and returned to Morro Bay and were not bothered in the least bit by anybody. Hey, Chris H. Oh, I forgot. I gotta re-add you, man. Sorry. How you been, Chris? not harassing people walking around with cameras filming in and around government facilities is making a change. Think about you guys like to try to act like it accomplishes nothing. The civil rights movements of the 50s and 60s didn't start with government wide change. It started with simple things like Rosa Parks on the bus and all that. Just little tiny things that popped up and it added up. It's just like I've said many times. You think if you took all those activists of the 50s and 60s and brought them to today, you could rest assured they would all have YouTube channels and Patreon accounts and do what they could. I obviously don't understand the Rosa Parks history. Yeah, okay. But no one was attacking you. They flat out said what you are, which everybody knows. You've spent months going around earning the hatred of everybody by harassing damn near every channel that doesn't bow to MERB. So don't complain to me when people call you out on it. Yes, Texas GT, it would. If it was back then, they would. I mean, Martin Luther King wasn't just an activist, he was a brand. The guy walked around wearing, what amounted to today, multi-thousand-dollar suits. He rode in brand new cars. He stayed at top-notch hotels. Hey, James Bond. Well, Hollywood, I guess you shouldn't have spent the last 6 months to a year earning the hatred from everybody. Chris, it's a general discussion. It started out, the title was based on the fact that I had come across a video of a soldier that was in full uniform. He had gotten pulled over for speeding, which, of course, he was speeding, fine, but the cop was treating him very poorly, was very rude to him, very short with him. It just treated him like he was lower than the cop, like he wasn't deserving of respect. And it made me think if somebody signed up to defend this country's freedom can't be free on American soil, what do the rest of us have to expect? No, they didn't thank him for his service. They didn't let him off with a warning. He got a ticket for speeding, and the cop was very short with him and very rude with him. It was uncalled for. Hey, Albert. Holly, I've already explained it. You want to keep looking past it? That's your choice. Even one small change can eventually lead to something a whole lot bigger. Yeah, yes. It's been brought up. Yeah, you got to expect that they're going to try to rip on open carry because it's Texas and it's a shooting. And of course, open carry probably had nothing to do with it at all. But they're going to try to hold it against the whole fact of open carry. Yeah, Chris, is it? I mean, I don't know if you've had many experiences with cops over there, but I, you know, I've seen a lot of videos of British cops that were very short with people, like did not want to let them talk at all. Is that pretty common? They basically just, wanted one or two word answers from the people, and that was it. Sure, Albert's not going to say hi to me. Yeah, see, I'm very much the whole just shut up, just be quiet. Hey, News in Ohio, just be quiet. If you don't have to speak, you can respectfully be quiet. I mean, like, obviously, there's certain scenarios where you have to interact with them. If you were driving, obviously, you have to give up your ID. You were operating a motor vehicle. We get that. But if you're literally doing nothing wrong, sitting on a park bench or whatever, you know, just be quiet. Then there's nothing they can hold against you. It's like a lot of people keep saying. Ben kept saying it. Taylin has said it. A lot of people have said it. Eventually, the videos will be used as evidence. So the cops are gonna, or the courts are gonna see your actions. So if you're acting a fool and cursing up a storm, and all, I mean, you're choosing to do that. Just know that a judge may see that as well. And if you're on a bench trial, of course the judge is going to use their own feelings. So, and bench trials obviously have a history of not going in favor of the defendant. Well, see here, RES, and New York State is a stop and ID state, but they still have to have PC. They don't have to have RES, but they still have to have PC to ID you, unless you're driving a vehicle. Yes, Remo Rogers. That's very true. I see this as a stepping stone. Auditing and YouTube channels and Discord servers and all that. It's stepping stones. You know, 2 years ago, this movement wasn't a fraction of the size it is now. With the number of channels that are out there, many of which are getting 10,000 subscribers in a matter of a month or less. It has grown so fast that obviously you get growing pains, and there's going to be a lot of difference of opinions, especially in a system that's not structured. We have no hierarchy. We have no charter. So, well, I know Denise. Welcome, by the way. But, the more people are made aware of the problem, the greater the hope of the problem being fixed. Okay, once again, you're skipping right over the whole Philip Turner incident, which was nothing but a guy with a YouTube channel and a camera that led to Supreme Court level change. Even if that's the only incident, that's still a huge thing. Yeah, Remo's right. Jeff Gray's case was dismissed. He proved that he was in the right. Nobody calling you a merbite is not a personal attack. That's saying what you are. You have personally established that, not me. So don't come whining to me because somebody calls you what you are. You chose that. You chose to harass people for the last 6 months to a year, however long it's been. You chose to cause problems. So, hey, Central Indiana, how you doing? Yes, Chris, it was, and I have the utmost respect for him. When Philip Turner, he picked up a camera and he went down to Leon Valley and put himself right in Salvaggio's way, literally, and brought up Turner versus Driver being Philip Turner. That was absolutely classic. When he brought up Turner versus Driver to Salvaggio, I damn near pissed myself laughing. I mean, I got nothing but respect for the guy. I'll never forget he asked Salvaggio and one of the lieutenants or whatever that was standing with him if they knew about Turner versus Driver, and they were like, "Yeah, we know about Turner versus Driver." Man, that was just classic. All right, Gas, just text me and let me know. I didn't really get to see yours last night. Yep, Denise is right. And of course, if anybody wants to chip in, there's PayPal here or Super Chats. I'm trying to set aside money for Uber, so in 22 days, when my probation is up, I can go out auditing. I'm really itching to go. Little worried about going out alone, but I haven't found anybody else locally. But talk about whatever's coming up. The El Paso thing is still unfolding, so, there's a lot of speculation right now. Wait for the facts. We all know stories can change over the next hour or two or even 24 hours as evidence is collected and interviews are done. All we know for sure is there was a shooting. People were harmed, people were killed. Yeah, Chris, I can't wait either, man. But yeah, like I said, it's worrisome going out alone. I don't know what you mean by what kind, but I would like to do what all the auditors have done: police stations, jails, things like that. No, no libraries, no corner side, museums on the side of a highway, nothing like that. No post offices. Paul, I'm in Rochester, New York. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Wait for more details about it. I'm not gonna just jump all over El Paso, Texas shooting there when I can't say anything more than there was a shooting. Still waiting for details to come out. Yeah, I would love to do some cop watching, but it's a harder thing here because especially with no vehicle, because it's not like you never know when they're going to show up, and I can't just randomly drive around looking for cop pulling people over or whatever. No, Paul. The closest one to me is New England Truth, as far as I'm aware. I mean, when there are some people that come and visit the channels that are in Buffalo, but they don't actually do active auditing. So, as far as I'm aware, the closest active auditor is New England Truth. And he said he's planning to come up here at some point. Yeah, exactly, Denise. That's my point. That's exactly why I don't jump on any of the stories anymore, because I jumped on that one too. I posted a video. Poor veteran in Walmart gets attacked. I was up right along with him. So that's why now it's just better to wait for all the details. No, if Black Label's going to do a story on it, that's great. Let him do a story. I mean, hey, that's more information getting out. I really would like to go back to the jail where me and Bullet went and see if they come out and say anything to me. Just, as kind of, paying homage to Bullet because he's the one that really stood his ground there and put that sheriff in his place. Hey, Invictus. So I really would like to go over there just, as a tribute to him and revisit it and see what happens. I've actually been a resident of that jail before, so it just makes it doubly interesting. Yep, it's coming up on a year. Yep, you guys. I wish you guys had gotten to know him in person, man. He was funny as hell. Funny as hell. That whole time when after he picked me up and we were driving into downtown and all that and looking for a place to park, he had me dying. He was laughing the whole time. What killed me was we going out outing. He's got this big blunt rolled up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He goes, oh, don't worry, it'll be gone by the time we get there. Oh man. Yes, everybody knows that pedophile is Remo. He's just one of the people that need to be driven out of this entire movement because all he does is bring us down. He's not just strange, he's a convicted pedophile. I mean, that's something that should be known. Oh yeah, I know Remo. He's just in love with me, and yeah, I know Denise. I know. Ah man, when Centurion went, whew, when his son released that video, Remo, he doesn't like the fact that I tell the truth about him. Mouse has never helped anything about this movement. Yes, Gen T, you're absolutely right there. Oh, I appreciate that, Joe. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, Centurion was one of the he really helped me to start doing live streaming because I had no desire to get in front of the camera. I didn't want any of that, and he kind of pushed me to do it and try it out, and he supported me when I did it. He helped me get it set up, and Invictus, not to my knowledge, but I don't know everything that's happened. Did he help me stutter? Gotta remember, first time I heard Centurion's voice, I immediately thought of Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. I swear he sounded exactly like him. About 3 weeks, Paul. Well, if you don't like it, then why? I don't get it. I don't understand why people feel it necessary to come here just to make silly remarks and then say they don't like it, yet they sit here. It makes no sense. You're not affecting me any. You're increasing my view count. Greta, as always, thank you very much. Always kind. Yeah, he was a dead ringer. I mean, he sounded exactly like Tommy Chong. He even smoked like Tommy Chong. Every day when he went live, he would do that, "Good morning, YouTube." Hilarious, because all I could picture was Cheech and Chong's up in smoke. Wow, Tuna's trying to get all Confucius on us. I think Eric Brandt's a very successful activist that has made a lot of change across Colorado, and he has his own way of doing things, and that's fine. He's earned the respect of a lot of people. I call him a friend. I talk to him offline. Greta, it's kind of a free for all, a lot of different topics. Hey, Belle. Oh no, Greta, I didn't. Huh? It just kills me. I hope they got stricter with the laws on people that do that. That's just ridiculous. Wasting so much police resources like that, on top of the sheer danger factor of getting somebody shot. But I was still around, Remo. He was live earlier. He's live pretty much every day. No, actually, I don't, Gabo. But whatever. The entire point of the shirt is just a joke. That's why it says what it says. Yeah, I remember seeing one guy get swatted. He's like sitting there on his live stream. And he's got this big wad of cash, and it was his money. And he's all, being all, what's the word, flamboyant about it, counting the money, throwing it, making it rain. Next thing you know, boom, a swarm of cops come down the stairs. The look on the guy's face, though, man. What does it say? It says, stupidity is not a crime. You're free to go. Of course, it's spelled Y-O-U-R instead of Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. The whole point is it's a gag shirt. One of those thrift store 99-cent shirts that I grabbed. Now, the Ubers here have gone down in price because the Lyft came around. Because Uber originally was just, they were ruling the market. So it was ridiculous prices. Now it's less than half the cost of what it was when they first came here. But at the same time, I feel sorry for these Uber drivers because you can get an Uber from me to downtown for, it's like $13, where a cab it would cost $35. So it's like that that Uber driver ain't making jack off of that. They got to do hundreds of rides a day just to break even, especially since they do it in their own vehicles. Greta, that's a good shirt. Steven Tunis. Nah, well, I know Uber did the self driving cars. They did a study, and in that time frame of being used, like 22 people were killed by the automatic driving cars. And Uber released a statement saying it was an acceptable margin of error. And yeah, the CEO at the time had to step down and resign after that statement was made. Yeah, I know, Victor. Bell, I got the email. I don't know, Greta. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I can tell you as a programmer of, you know, basically 30 years of my life being involved in software development in one capacity or another, software is nowhere near perfect enough, or even hardware, for me to trust getting into an automatic car driving down the road as a 4,000 pound bullet doing 60, 70 miles an hour made of freaking aluminum. No thanks. Bell, just there was shootings in El Paso, Texas, but we're waiting for more information. Sorry, I gotta respond to a text. Hey, Chris H., if you're still here, I sent you an email. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to draw my attention away. Hey, Renee, but someone had texted me that I had to respond to. All right, Chris, I sent you an email just so you know. Whenever you get to it, it's fine. Nothing major. No, Eggman Eggs doesn't really get on here as much anymore. I'm gonna look into the El Paso thing further and try to, I mean, Black Label's doing a story on it too. If you guys would want to watch his, I just wanted to wait until there was more facts. All right, Denise, thanks again for stopping in, as always. Trying to think who else lives in El Paso area. It's not. No, it's not. They live over by San Antonio. Well, I just sent it, Chris. I know I sent it. I'll double check. Wait, is that the right email address? Yeah, it's you. Yeah, I the Chris Iggy address. So, okay, Greta, be safe. Keep us updated as well. Make sure we know that you're okay. All right, Renee. Thanks for stopping in as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay up a whole lot longer. I just wanted to kind of say hi to everybody and post my thoughts about that video I had watched. Definitely gonna dig into the El Paso thing and see what I can come up with. But of course, it's gonna be at least 24 hours before, a lot of facts are available. Wow, really went silent. Okay, guys, well, it seems like it died off and everybody's out doing other things, so I appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out, and, as I said, I appreciate any support. Um, I don't know when I'll be live again, but hopefully sometime soon. So, I'll catch you all later.